Welcome, everybody, to a milestone. Lights, Camera, Pop is legally able to drink now. Episode 21 is here. I'm your host, Rich, and with me, as always, is Mike Smith.
How's everybody going? I can't believe 21 episodes. And I must say, it feels good to be back in the saddle. I missed last week.
Welcome back,
You
man.
guys,
Welcome back.
you guys did a great job. I did listen to the show immediately after you dropped it, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really good show. I wish I was on there. The guest sounded awesome. He was pretty cool.
Todd was super awesome, man. And good big shout out to Brian, man. Like, jumping into your shoes and stuff like that. And we had a good time. We had a good time on it.
Yeah, you guys both killed it. Like, all three of you sounded excellent. And I got home in time to do the show. Let's face it. I was home in time to do the show, but the weekend just like wiped me out. I would have just been I'd have been a zombie on the show. So it was probably best that I did do the complete bow out, and I'm really glad that Brian was able to fill in for me, and he killed it. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy how it turned out too.
For sure. And don't forget, Bad Shit is coming to Devil's Nights. I'll post up the link and stuff. I've been sharing it. So October 30th, it's going to be playing in theaters. So everybody can go check it out. In a theater.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this.
Tell me, so last week you were slanging your funny books down in or up in Erie at the Erie Horror Fest.
Yeah, we were up in Erie. We did the Erie Horror Fest. This is our second time there, so we are now officially, I guess you can say, like part of the Erie Horror family up there, And I love doing that show. It's such a great show. It's so much fun. It's the way they do it is really good. The theater is amazing. The whole vibe is just a cool vibe. So it's just a great weekend in general. It's a Friday and a Saturday show. So we leave our house early on Friday. We left early in the morning on Friday, got up there, got to the Bates Motel. It's an on-running joke that I'll tell you about that in a second. But got to our motel. Grabbed our key and then ran over to the venue and set up, got everything all organized, and then the show officially starts at 3:00 in the afternoon. So vendors have to vend from 3 to 8. Mm-hmm. Like, that's our mandatory time on the first day. So we did that. We stayed till, I think we ended up staying till like almost like a little after 9. I think we stayed an hour over. Then we left there and went back to our motel, and then the following day we get there at like 9:30 because they do this thing for little kids. They'll have like a movie for little kids to come in. Like, the first year that we did it, they showed Nightmare Before Christmas, and then This year they did the Haunted Mansion.
Nice. So, which one?
Yeah, the first one, the one with
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy and everything. So they had that. And then the little kids will come down dressed in their Halloween costumes, and they go trick-or-treating all through the vendor space.
Oh, that's super cool.
So all those vendors will take candy and have like a bowl of candy and let the kids get candy and everything, and it's always a blast. And then around 10:30, 11 o'clock, the show reopens for the main. Yeah, for main people to come in. Mm-hmm. And then you're supposed to vend from, we'll say, like 10 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon. But you can stay later. So we ended up staying way later, as our whole thing is, like, if we're going to spend this much time to get up there, we might as well, wring the cloth for as much as we can get out of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, and it was funny. I felt like I told like Amy, I was like, as the people around us were tearing down their tables, I was taking their tables. I was putting our stuff on everyone else's tables. Because I mean, like, I go in hot. I mean, like, if I'm gonna do this show, I'm gonna go in hot. I'm gonna take a bunch of stuff. So that's what I did. I took a bunch of stuff, and so like a lot of stuff kind of get ignored because a lot of it's like underneath the table, like on the floor. So I was able to kind of like open it up. Um, but it was again, it's a blast. It was a lot of fun. We stayed the second night till about 10 o'clock at night, maybe a little later, 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I think we got back to our motel room around 11 o'clock. So probably like 10:30 ish. We stayed till, and then we
Mm-hmm.
tore everything down. Because like what they were doing, like this year was great, but it wasn't like the last year. The first year we did it was just crazy. It was just balls out crazy. Like this year was a little slower. Apparently Erie had some funding issues, and there was a couple other things that took place that kind of like detracted a little bit from the show, but nothing major. Like nothing that's going to stop us from not going back next year. We're looking forward to next year.
Right.
But again, like if you're a vendor, no matter what, you can't gauge this year after the following year just because things change,
Yeah, for sure.
like so. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, we didn't make as much money as we did the following year, but we still had a blast, and we had a really, really, really good time.
Was the last one in
Um,
October also?
yes,
Okay.
it's always in October.
Okay, it's always
So
in
like
October.
next year we're gonna double up Erie next year. We are definitely going to do the Erie Horror Show, but
Mm-hmm.
we're also going to do the Erie Comic Book Convention.
Nice. Okay.
So we'll be up in Erie for both of those shows. So look out for that. Look out for that. Then yesterday I did another show.
You
I
were
did
like,
the Ace. I did the Ace Toberfest up in Evans City, up in Zombie Town, USA.
okay.
And that show was the it was a lot of fun.
Hey,
Okay, it was a little impromptu show. I got asked to do it a couple of weeks ago.
actually, I can tell you right now, it was episode 19
Uh-huh.
when you got the text
Right, yeah.
because we were on the air when you got it.
Right, you're right. I was, and so yeah, I just got thrown onto it. So it was a free vending space for me and everything like that. So of course I'm going to do it, and it was a way for the guys that run the Butler show, the Butler Toy Show, did this, and it was kind of like a way to give back to the town.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of fun. Like they were showing like horror movies, like on a projector out. It was all outside, and they had horror movies going on a projector. They had a chili cook-off, but only 3 people brought chili, but the chili was free, and it was damn good chili too. And they were also giving away ribs. I mean, like it was free food.
What?
I'm not going to say no to that, right?
Right. Hell no.
And there was like 4 or 5 vendors, and it was a small, low key, a lot of fun. Had a really good time doing it. I can't wait till next year. They said they're going to try to do this every year as well. So I was like, you know what? Count me in for next year. And next year I am going to bring chili to be part of the chili cook-off. And it was funny. He's like, so the other vendors were like, yeah, I'm going to bring chili too. So one guy's like, I'm going to bring chili. He's like, and when I do, and then they're like, well, if we're going to do this, we're going to have a chili and a costume contest. So the one vendor was just like, oh, I'm gonna dress as Jeffrey Dahmer, and
Oh.
I was just like, all right. And the other couple other people said, Ed Gein and this, that, the other, and I was like, I'm gonna dress as Cartman. Do you remember the episode?
I do.
referring
I
to?
do. But I'm very surprised
like,
nobody said they were going to dress like the cook from.
right? Yeah,
Was that was you, huh?
somehow I got a background thing noise, but I was like, I'm gonna dress as Cartman. I was like,
That's
they're just
so
like,
funny.
and then all of a sudden he's like, I just like said it like flippantly, and then like there was like this slight pause, and then like everyone just started dying laughing. I was like, "Yep." I was like, "I'm gonna have the Scott Tenorman." I was like, "I'm gonna name it my chili Scott Tenorman." And like now, I was thinking like I'm gonna go and remember the whole thing was like the pubes like they were talking about like the pubes
Yeah.
even though. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have like um I'm gonna take a like something like cheese or something like that and have it in a bag and have like and I'm gonna have like Scott Tenorman's pubes like written across.
But you have to like put some mix some food coloring to get them like a darker color because obviously
Oh yeah.
cheese, it's you're gonna know that it's not. So yeah, you got to give it that ambiance of it
But yeah,
or the
while I was up
espresso.
there, I of course, like the Crazies was filmed in that town, and of course, Night of the Living Dead was filmed there. Now, I didn't go back to the cemetery. I've been to the cemetery a million times, so I didn't go to the cemetery while I was up there. But I have been wanting to get a selfie in front of the Evans City post office
And
for
I'm happy
several
you
years
did.
now, and
I
I
saw it.
always something always pops up and I never do it. So finally, yesterday, I got my selfie in front of the Evans City.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got that taken care of. So I'm excited about that. So I got the whole crazies out of me now. So now I have a bye week next week. I have nothing going on next week. That's my daughter's that's her dance, the homecoming, and all the stuff
Yeah.
like that for Brownsville. So I got to be home for that. But then the following week, which is Halloween on Friday, so Halloween and then November 1st, back to back, boom boom, um, is Creature Fest. So in
Yes.
Uniontown. So I'll be there.
Yeah. It'd be nice. Like I said, I'd like to like pop in. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to, but yeah, it'd be nice to pop in just to say hi to everybody.
That would
Um,
be awesome.
yeah. Um, yeah, it's been like kind of like a weird week, haven't really been really doing much of watching. I've been it's funny, I've been watching a lot of Boy Meets World.
Oh, that's cool.
And you know what it is like it was I mean, I this is probably my second or third time around watching it and I'm just now starting on season 3. I'm on episode 1. And as I'm watching it, then all of a sudden it's like things like align and things happen, and you're just like, oh my god, it's like I'm watching this for a reason. And then they showed William Daniels, 98 years
Oh,
old,
cool.
at Dancing
Yeah.
with the Stars, and Danielle Fishel Topanga is on there, and she was doing her dance, and she did the dance to the Boy Meets World theme song while Mr. Feeney was standing in front of the desk. And it
Oh,
was like
that's
it was
kind of
pretty
cool.
cool. It was pretty cool. But I'm like, I really love that show, and it's inevitable of the things that's going to happen to William Daniels. I just hope that somebody's prepared to release a video of all of Mr. Feeney's teachings with that
That would be kind
with
of
that
neat.
sad music behind it, that motivational, inspirational, sad music playing, like they did for Stan Lee, and just it's just like I'm there for it, and like I don't. While I say that I don't, of course, obviously want it to happen, but it's life,
My
and
wife watches Dances with the Stars,
oh, does
and
she?
she was wondering like how they're going to do the whole Mr. Feeney thing. So like, I'll I'm not a big Dancing with the Stars
No, me
person.
either.
Yeah, I don't watch
I
it.
don't either, and it's
But
just I
like,
saw the clip of it.
but I'll hang out for a while. I like Andy Richter, so like I'm like rooting for him.
Okay,
Um, but like I watch a little bit of it. Like I watch about the first half, or until Andy's done. And then then normally that usually constitutes my bedtime. So
that's
then I
funny
usually
because
go to bed.
same like
Um,
the time there was 2 times like I would watch like either American Idol or Dancing with the Stars. The only 2 nights of the entire season I would watch would be the Disney night, and
oh really?
yeah, that would be the only time I would ever watch them because I enjoy the music, and I like just watch and dance to that. It's just I don't know, and usually they're in one of the parks or around one of the parks, something like that. and just because like I'm a huge fan of it, and that's why I kind of tune in for that. But yeah, and then this week, yesterday, my sister-in-law had a birthday party for my niece. She's 10, and she wanted to have a Halloween party, or one of them wanted to have, well, I don't know. And here they had like a haunted walkthrough, and my brother-in-law and um, just a couple other people, we were all dressed up and we went down and we were scaring all the little kids as they were walking through with their black light and stuff like that. It
Oh,
was
that's
so
cool.
much fun. And like we all kind of agreed, like my kids, my wife, we all kind of agreed like it was probably one of the better parties that my sister-in-law had thrown. And it actually took me back to the days when I worked at Rich's Freight Farm and jumping out and scaring people. And it was just so much fun. And then you had, of course, the little badass kids that are like, no, you want punch in the face?
Oh yeah, there's always
It was
those.
always one of those. Like, I almost thought he was drunk too, but he definitely wasn't. Um, but yeah, and then today, mowed the lawn. We got a new TV because we have this TV for Jesus years, and it was an LG. It was a 47-inch, and it started to like finally after I want to say maybe about 10 years maybe we've had this TV, and it finally started like having like where when you turn it on it would have some distortion and lines. It would go away after a minute or two, but uh it was just annoying. And then on random times the volume would turn all the way up for no reason. You don't even have to be holding the remote. All the lights would turn on at the bottom, and the volume would just crank all the way up to 99. And the only way to reset it is by unplugging the TV. So my wife picked up a TV on Walmart, and it's a little bit of a smaller TV. It's not a 4K. It's nothing like we didn't really upgrade. But my son and I mounted it onto the wall today, and it looks really nice up there. We were out there watching. Then my wife and I we rearranged the living room. Well, here I was re-entering all my passwords and stuff in. I'm like putting Hulu on and going through, and I didn't realize Halloween Wars were on there. So we started watching Halloween Wars today, and man, that show is so good. I love that show.
Oh yeah, it's a great show. I like those guys are just amazing.
Yeah, yeah, like all the shit that they can do. It's like, are you serious right now? That is so badass. But yeah, I could never do it. But here we are.
Oh,
Um,
I know, right?
so I want to get into a little bit of new sad news right now. Might as well get that out of the way. I mean, we've had 3 deaths this past week,
I know, right?
and like a lot of people, they're not gonna know. They're not gonna know the name of the first person, but I I would be remiss not to mention this man and his work because everybody in this world has seen his work. And I'm gonna probably butcher his last name, and I hope I don't. But Drew Struzan. Now, again, don't I know nobody knows the name, but if you've ever watched a movie in your entire lifetime and you've seen the movie poster, you've seen his work. He has done
The
the
artist.
artist for the Goonies, Hook, um, when they did the re-releases of like the Star Wars films, as well as like the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, the Harry Potter posters, Back to the Future. I mean, like the Muppet
I want to
movie.
say he's. I want to say I read somewhere that he's done like over 1,200 posters,
That's insane. So yeah, I mean, brilliant artist.
and
It'll
they
be
were all painted.
yes, all painted, not CGI, not computer animated, and not that there's anything wrong with computer animated. Um,
Right.
but yeah, that's pretty outstanding to do that kind of work.
I mean, like that's amazing.
Yeah, it
Like
really was.
his output was just phenomenal.
Yeah. So and I feel like I don't I don't think I've ever seen a poster that would ever really come to the standards that he has done. So huge bucket of win to Drew, and yeah,
Yeah,
we won't.
like my hat is completely off to you, and I hang my artist's brush up to you.
My artist brush, I like that. Then yesterday, uh, Sam Rivers, the bassist for Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit, yeah, I know
Like
that shocked
that
me.
was like he's 48 years old. Like I didn't really dive too deep into his like the cause or anything like that, but I was like, damn, that's like pretty wild. I the uh chocolate starfish and a hot dog flavored water is probably like an album that I revisit quite frequently from Limp Bizkit. And it's like cover to cover, it's like almost a pretty phenomenal badass album. And but yeah, it's another truly great. And then we lost Diane Keaton. Did I say I said three?
Yeah,
I said three deaths, didn't I? She just kind of
yeah,
popped in my head. So four.
four.
Yeah, because technically, I think she had passed last, like before last episode, and
Yeah,
we
she
didn't really
died while
talk
I
about
was up in Erie.
it. Okay. So it was like probably that Saturday.
Yeah, she
Eh,
died while because I heard about it. Um, we were doing the show, and like Amy was like doing. She's like, "Oh my God, Diane Keaton just passed away." I was like, "Holy sheesh!"
Yeah, phenomenal actress. She didn't have any kids. Well, I'm sorry,
Mm-mm.
no, she didn't get married. However,
She has an adopted daughter, I
she
think.
had two adopted kids. Yeah, and like that was pretty wild. Like I'm a huge fan of adoption.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
being adopted myself. So
Right. But I always thought it was. I always think that like I am not, but like I always thought that like adoption is like an amazing thing to do.
yeah, it's definitely one of the most selfless things that a person can
Oh
do.
yeah.
Um,
And then Ace Frehley.
Ace Freely. So I wanted to save this one for last because we had gone on record probably the first or second episode by saying how much of a Kiss fan that we are not.
Yeah. And I am
So
still not. Nor
no, this does not change my thought process or beliefs of the overhyped and overratedness of the band.
he
But
is the only Kiss member that I don't despise.
so it's funny is like, and I hear you say that, and I wanted to like be I felt that way like, oh, I just don't like the entire band. Um but then I just saw an interview. I think I sent it to you too. I saw an interview where he was talking to an interviewer and they were all in their makeup. And they said how was it? Oh, so you're a spaceman, right? And he says, actually, no, I'm a plumber. And they have this big laugh. And then the guy who's interviewing him, the news anchor, was like, oh, well, I got some pipes that need fixed or something like that. And they
Oh
fed
my
off of each other.
god.
And his laugh was so infectious. He just seemed like such a fun guy, a person. But then you cut to when they're sitting there, all the members are sitting there, and then they show uh, Gene and Paul. They had the most stone cold, serious looks on their faces, and it's just like almost where they seemed like they were embarrassed that he was acting like this. But like I thought it was like so like he didn't take himself seriously.
No, he
He seemed
didn't, but
very humble about himself.
he was also a really good musician. He was a really good guitar player. Like again, I am not a Kiss fan by any stretch of the imagination. I like one record, and I like three quarters of that record, and the only one I like is Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and anything else after Destroyer or before Destroyer, I cannot stand. Um, do I want to see him dead? No.
No.
Um, You know, like I said, he's the only one out of that entire band that I have any like a monicum of respect for. I think he's a cool dude, and he's like the one that like if I did meet Kiss, he'd be the one that I would, the only one of the band that I would want to talk to.
Right.
That's it, like just him. And so Ace, I mean, like you will be missed, my man. You will be missed.
Yes, he will.
And like we were talking earlier about Limp Bizkit. I was never a fan of Limp Bizkit, but again, he's not somebody I never would want to see anything bad happen to him. They were a band that like I hated, but they were also not a band that like I was like really into. So it was just they weren't my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Like they weren't like a band that like I was just like, ooh, cool. Now I did see them once, and I hit Fred Durst with a bottle of water. I
Oh,
think I told you about that.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think I told you about that. It was on MTV. Speaking of MTV, we have another death. MTV is now dead.
Yeah. Wow. What is up with that?
Yep, MTV turned off its signal on this month, a couple of days ago. So that's, again, I guess they're trying to sell MTV right now. But as of right now, MTV is no longer viable. That's pretty crazy, too.
Yeah, like, but I thought that was only in the UK.
Nope.
No, it is.
Here in the U.S., it is done as well, but they're just doing reruns. They're doing like there's nothing going to be. It's like just stuff on loops right now.
eh, They really need to like when the Buggles did radio or video killed the radio star. Some like are the Buggles still a thing? Are they still alive? Because if they
No,
are,
not really. Like I know the band is still. I know people are still alive, but I don't think the band has anything. But I mean, like the dead Kennedys,
they're coming to
MTV get
Pittsburgh.
off the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was gonna
they're
say
coming to Pittsburgh the day after my birthday,
that's awesome. Well, no, I was gonna
November 8th.
say that with
Well, that's
the
Black
Buggles.
Flag's coming to.
Oh, okay, the Buggles need to re like cover their own song and update it and call it YouTube killed the video star.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be a pretty like badass kind of reunion just to do one song and just do it that.
YouTube killed the video star. But yeah, wow. I like when I read that, I was like, holy crap. I was like, yeah, I guess like they're like completely dead in Europe. But here in the States, they are like the signal's done as the MTV signal. But they are just in order to, I guess, keep how do I say it? Like for the FCC in order to keep the licensings and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So they could sell it. I guess they have to still continuously air something. So it's like I guess you're just going to be just getting nothing but ridiculousness for 24 hours a day. So oh wait, that's all they do anyway. So
That's so
I guess
funny.
they do have to show something, but it's not. But there's nothing new being done. Period.
Wow, that's insane. A lot of fond memories with MTV. That was
Headbangers Ball's gone. 120 Minutes is gone. Yo MTV Raps is gone.
who do you think the better VJ was? Was it Matt Pinfield or Ricky Rackman?
Okay. Now this is a funny question. Um, I liked Ricky Rackman better than Matt Pinfield, but Matt Pinfield was more educated. Like Ricky Rackman was just like he was just like a cool dude, like that was fun, loved the music, did have a good background in it. But Matt Pinfield was the
He was
the
almost like a
Wikipedia.
journalist. He was almost like a journalist of music.
He's the Wikipedia of MTV. Like it's like Today we're going to be talking about L7, and the girls in L7 were also in a band called L9. You know, so I think like just go on and on and on and on and on and on, which you got to respect. I always thought that was kind of cool about him. Um, but if I were to just watch like a show, I'd rather it be Ricky Rackman,
Ricky
just
Rackman.
because
I
I think
always did like him.
he
He's so cool, very well
yep,
spoken, and but he had such an edge. Even though he was well spoken, but he had such an edge
right,
to him that was just like he's like you could tell that his love for music and that he was one of us.
yeah. Where Matt Pinhead was just like he was literally the college radio nerd.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who somewhat resembled Tor Johnson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everybody's going,
He was
"What?
just
Who the hell is that?"
right. But that's how I would equate them.
I like that. I like that. It's a good astute observation.
Anka.
I'm gonna start using words like astute.
Yeah, really. I just read an article. Speaking of the word astute, I just read an article. Like most of the English language is actually based off of Germanic words. Okay, but we also have a big Latin influence. So when people try to sound intelligent, that's when they use the Latin aspect. But when people are just talking normal, that's when all the words like the German Slavic words come out. So like words like love and quiet and like those type of things. That's all like the German stuff. But whenever you're trying to talk like whenever you're trying to sound intelligent, that's when you start using like the big aspirational words, So I just thought that was kind of an interesting little tie in there.
That's
I don't know
yeah,
why I brought that up, but
because I said astute. I don't know.
yeah, because I mean, like, then again, like if it was in my head, it had to come out somewhere, else it would, my head would explode. So,
So yeah,
um, so what else has been going on in
well,
the
like
news?
of course, we've been texting back and forth the past couple days. Um, I guess I mean I'll bring some stuff up right now. I mean, why not?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Yeah. So some things might be changing on the header. So if you guys subscribe to us on YouTube or not yet, we're getting there.
Yet,
If you
yet that's
yet, if you follow us and subscribe on Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, blah blah blah, it usually says lights, camera, pop up top. Okay, so that is going to go away. It's still going to be. We're still doing lights, camera, pop. However, we're looking to give you more content with different subjects. And like I swear that my mind like has such a weird bipolar aspect that I can't like stay focused with one thing. I don't know if it's like ADHD, AD bipolar D. I don't know. Partial schizophrenia maybe. I don't possibly. But so I'm like
a little across the board.
yeah, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I do the horror show occasionally, which I'm gonna do a new episode on Wednesday. Tune in for that. And then we have the lights, camera, pop. Now we both you'd mentioned we talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago that in 2026 most likely we could have it by the end of the year. We don't know how things will play out, but you'll have your paranormal esque show. And
Correct.
now I'm going to do another one. I'm not going to say what it is. If you follow me, then you may already know, but just know that there is another one working. So by next year, we would like to at least give you 4 to at least 5 episodes a week. Oh, but why do you say is this the lights, camera, pop going away at the image? Yes, because now it's going to be called Carnival Lights Media. And Carnival Lights Media is basically the umbrella that everything is going to fall under. When I do the films, it's going to be under Carnival Lights Media. Under some other projects that Mike and I have cooking, Carnival Lights Media.
Yeah, we have some other things that we've been bandying about. I am gonna let one little cat out of the bag. Um, there may be a graphic novel or a comic book under our banner coming out as well from a short story that I just recently done. I'm finishing it up, and Rich, he liked it, and everyone else
I liked
has
it a
read
lot.
it so far. Seems to get a kick out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a multimedia faceted thing coming at you that we've been really trying to focus on,
And we don't
and
know how to do any of it, and we're just gonna play it by ear and see what
right, and
happens.
we are borderline retarded with all of this stuff, so it is literally going to see what happens, and we're going to throw things to the wall and see what sticks, see what doesn't stick, and then if it doesn't stick, we're going to get tape out and make it stick.
Yep, I like that. So yeah, so um, my second project will, or would it be third? Yeah, I guess it would be my third. My third project is going to be coming later on. I would like to think within a month. I don't know. Um, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's another show that like I've wanted to do for a while, and it's weird because like when we started Lights Camera Pop, we talked about like all the things that we wanted to do rolled into one show. But it's weird because like when you love those things so much, it's hard to spread them out into one episode. So it's like you
Right.
kind of have to have its own show and its own incarnation to do it that way. So, that's why the horror of it all is still a thing. Because it's sometimes hard to talk about horror on here because we get so wrapped up in everything else that, it's like, and we're enjoying talking about that stuff. So we can just kind of, while we still may touch on the horror stuff here, the horror of it all, we'll focus more on it. And
We
stuff
will
like that.
always talk about anything pop
Oh,
culture, especially if it's something that we
100%.
really enjoy. So yeah, there's always going to be a little bit of paranormal in this. There's always going to be music in this. There's always going to be movies in this. There's always going to be comics, horror, everything. This is good. Like Lights, Camera, Pop is our all-encompassing show.
Yes.
This is the show that like you can. Whatever tickles our fancy, we will talk about. And we will still have like our main guests. We have guests lined up that we want to talk to for
Working on
this
more.
particular show.
And working on more.
Yes, and we're working on more, and we're always this show is going to be this is our flagship show.
Yes.
Okay, this is our big show. This is the one that we concentrate on. This is the one that we initially started. This is our baby. This is the one that, when you and I got together and said, let's do a show, this is what we came up with. So the other shows that we will be doing are just cool stuff that if we like, we know others will like.
Right.
But this show will always be our big show. And I'm talking to another buddy of mine that we've been knocking around stuff like Rich, and I talked about this as well. You guys all know that I am a news junkie. What do I call myself? A news whore?
Something like that.
And my buddy and I were talking about doing a show that is about manliness, like man shit, everything,
Well,
the
I'm
stuff
out.
the stuff that we're all kind of into, like with training, like what's going on in the world. But as of this show, whenever we do it, we are not going to have any sort of political leanings. It is going to be, we will present and you come up with your own thoughts to it.
And
It's not going to be
don't come back and be
one
like,
person.
yeah, don't come back. I was just telling the audience when you listen to it, don't come back and be like, oh, well, he said that I should do this or I should do that. It's not that.
No, we're never going to tell you what to do, how to think, anything like that. We're going to present. This is like whenever we talk about what we do for training. Like, this is how I do it, and Scott's going to be like, this is how he does it, and then we're going to. We also have people that are lined up to talk to us on like cybersecurity and then history and different things like that. So, and none of it is going to be from any political leanings. It is just going to be we are going to be what a journalist is supposed to actually be. We are going to just present facts and then lay them on the table, and then you pick up the tools and you put it together. That's just how we're doing it. And I think that, like, with Rich and I doing all of this stuff, I just think that's just like another cool aspect to have under our umbrella.
Yep.
Is, just to have. So we're not. I was thinking about this last night when I couldn't sleep. So that we're not one-sided or like one-faceted. It's not like we're like, oh great, they're going to be talking about pop culture shit again tonight. Oh great, they're going to be talking about, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
at least you'll have, oh, this was about horror. Oh, they're talking about this over here. Oh, they're talking about this over here. And then we want to try to get other. And once we get this up and running, it's not just going to be our sexy voices that you're hearing. We're going to try to get more people. We're going to try to get a lot. We want this to be bigger than ourselves.
Yes. And real quick too, I just want to point out why we are speaking of podcasts. Go listen to Gen X Marks the Spot. Our buddy
Yes.
Joe, JJ, he has him and oh my God, Eddie has a show.
Eddie.
They have a show out. You need to check it out. First episode was really good. Looking forward to tomorrow to checking out today to checking out the episode 2. And they just released a Ace Frehley tribute. So go check them out. Gen X Marks the Spot. Now back to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm actually gonna go and binge the 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, I will too, actually, because working at Walmart and woo, yay. Did you see while we were talking about the comics or the podcast, you mentioned comics. I really wanted to give a real quick, like, exciting nod to a collab coming out.
Okay.
They're both under the Marvel moniker now, but they're doing a crossover comic or a one shot. Fantastic Four meets Gargoyles.
Gargoyles, yeah.
Dude, like, I saw that. Like, Gargoyles was the shit. I love that show. And
I was really shocked when I saw that when that was coming out. I was like, what the? I was like, wow. I was like, I haven't thought of Gargoyles in years.
Oh, they've always been on my radar. Because I try to always look for there was talks for a while that they were going to do a live action series or a live action movie.
I remember that.
And I don't know whatever happened, if it's still a thing, but yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I'm a little surprised though that they went with Fantastic Four meets the Gargoyles. I don't know if it's just like, I probably would have went with the X-Men maybe, or the Avengers.
I think the Avengers would have been cooler.
Yeah. I mean, the whole New York aspect and everything.
But then again, they just had the Fantastic Four movie.
And that's what my thought is.
It's still kind of fresh in people's minds.
That's what my thought is. That's what my thought process was. Yeah.
That's I think one of the big things it's doing with that.
Yeah. So,
speaking of comics, real quick, there was a rumor but this is a complete BS rumor. There was a rumor going around that Marvel bought DC and was going to rename themselves like Amalgam Comics or something like that. It was like complete fictional horse crap.
I remember
but
that.
I just had to bring that up just because I thought that was just funny. I was just like, oh my God.
I love those Amalgam comics though, with Dark Claw and Spider Boy and stuff like that. I thought those were pretty cool.
Yeah, because I mean, like, they did do a venture with them with each other.
Yeah.
But they said that they were gonna go and do that Marvel went and bought DC, and then they're going to Amalgamated Comics Incorporated is what they were supposed to be called, or something like that. And I'm just like, oh no, that never happened. I was like, and I honestly think that like Warner would literally kill off every superhero that they had before they let the mouse control them.
Oh God.
Like it would be like it would be like a DC superhero genocide.
Oh
You know?
shit. But yeah, so just wanted to give everybody a heads up about the upcoming changes that you may see, and if you if you do follow us and you see the main picture change to Carnival Lights Media, this is the reason why. So you'll be looking forward to getting some extra shows during the week.
And we're both really looking forward to all these changes
One hundred
because
percent.
it's not like it's big changes. It's not like everything
Yeah,
like yeah. But it's just cool stuff that we've been planning and we've been trying to get things together and we think that we have like a good shot of doing some cool shit
I think
that
so
you'll
too.
all enjoy.
I definitely agree with that. But
All 17 of you.
oh, 17. Oh, we went to 17 now. Awesome. I know, a couple weeks ago we
Right.
were at like 10, so we took it up to 17. That's awesome. But yeah, here we are talking about the future, the future. And while I love the thought of everything, I do want to stay humble and think about the past. But
Yep.
when I say that, so let me tell you a little story. So it was last Halloween. Can't remember if it was last Halloween or the previous. I want to say it was the previous. So I remember watching Saw,
Okay.
and I was watching with my daughter. She's 20 now, and she's watching it, and I'm watching her watch it, and just the whole when she's the twists and everything that happens, and the excitement and the crazed joy in her mind and confusion just lit up her face. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so jealous. Like, I would love to go back and rewatch this for the first time. And that's what I thought about for today. And so I wanted to ask you, if you can go back, just give me three, maybe five. If you can go back and or what would you like to experience now for the first time in your life again?
Getting my first BMX bike or skateboard will be
What
number
what
one.
was it about that? I mean,
It was freedom.
you felt free
Like
on them?
my first real BMX bike. Number one, just having like a cool bike in general. Back then, it was like, if you had a cool bike, that was like owning a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Like having a Hutch Trickstar. Because I had a Hutch Trickstar, and then but my Opus bike that I had was my MCS Styler. Oh man, chef's kiss. Um, I love that thing. Oh, if I could get another one of those, but they just go for so much damn money right now.
Yeah.
Um, but that, because I'll just never forget, like, not being able to afford like the bike, so I bought the frame. Like my mom and dad like helped me out. I mowed a lot of lawns, different things like that, and bought the frame and fork, and
Nice.
then just piecemealed together my bike till I finally had it to what I wanted. And
Mm.
that thing was just that was the coolest thing ever. And then like my first skateboard was a Nash, and it had like a big dragon. It was I remember it was like a Kmart special, and it had a big dragon on it standing on a mountain of skulls. And I just remember I was like, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then as I got good with the skateboard, then my very first pro board. So I'm going to be aging myself. My first pro board was a Vision Old Ghost Guardian, and again, if I can get an original Vision Old Ghost Guardian deck, I would
Now, were these the
hang it
wide
on my
bodies?
wall. Yes. I
Oh,
mean, like, we're talking between 85 and 86 is when I had that. And my first cool bike, besides like my Trickstar, I worked my way up into my Trickstar and then my MCS. But like my very first cool bike was a Diamondback. and I love that thing. And then I remember them all like it was yesterday because I love them all. I'm still a BMX nerd. I still love watching, especially vintage BMX videos, like the Skyway team and like the Dyno team and the GT team.
Listen, I do
But
that
yeah,
with
so
skateboarding.
I can go I can go on and on about that stuff. Same with skateboarding too. Yeah.
Like I love watching skateboarding videos, and I've always said like I love like summer games. I love the X Games, but I only like to watch. I hate winter to begin with, and so I'd like try to avoid anything wintry. But when it comes to summer skateboarding or summer X Games, I love it. And sorry, a little bit of heartburn here. But I love the X Games, and I always said that there's football, there's baseball, hockey. Like if you really want to look at a intense sport, watch skateboarding and the X Games.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause the shit that they pull and do is phenomenal.
Or freestyle bike.
Yeah, yeah, or
Like
scooters. No, I'm
any
joking.
of that stuff. Any of that stuff. Like I will like okay. Like I was just talking to Amy about this not too long ago. Like yeah, I'll like the Olympics. It's all fine and dandy. Like it's cool. Like I like the gymnastics. Yeah, that's neat. Now do it on a skateboard. Do it on a moving object.
Right. Oh, my
Yeah.
right. My headset got a little weird. Um, yeah. So
The stuff that those people do on BMX bikes and on especially nowadays. I mean, back when I was younger, like acid drops, ollies, and kickflips were cool as hell. Now these guys are doing like stuff that's just literally is like almost bends physics.
oh, it's insane. It's insane.
You know,
And
I remember like when I was a kid, like doing a backflip on a BMX bike, you were a god. Now it's like the stuff that they're doing on BMX bikes would just it bends my brain. Yeah, it truly does. It bends my brain. I'm like, what the? How do you even come up with that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you land that?
right.
how do you not? How do you not kill yourself twice? You know? I mean, wow. Like, my hat is off to all of those guys.
Absolutely. So for me, like one of the things, like going back, and I know this is going to be something like something so trivial and like minimal to some people. Like maybe you can attest, like when people getting their first Barbie or their first GI Joe. But I remember Masters He-Man and the Masters of the Universe,
Oh man, my buddy John Close loves those things.
and I remember one Christmas waking up, and it was a pretty big Christmas for me. I don't know why. I really don't know why, because my birthday is literally 7 days before Christmas. So I mean, so go figure.
Oh, you're
Uh,
one of those get ripped off.
yeah. Uh, well, I had that year's entire line of He-Man figures, and I'm
Oh
talking
wow.
like, and some of them was like doubled up that they put back the cards back to back. Then they had some singles they wrapped together, and I just remember like opening each one and how like excited, like I just remember that excitement, and it's excitement like that is almost sometimes very hard to capture now, like
Oh,
anymore.
it's yeah. It's like catching lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, yeah, and I would just like to go back to that moment to where like I didn't think I was gonna get hardly anything, and yet I got almost everything.
Right.
At least, even though it was just about maybe 8, 9 action figures from Hills, because that's where the toys were, and of course at that time Santa brought them, and that back then there was no internet to shop at. It was like I always look back and like, how did they get all these? Like, were the toy stores or the department stores like fully stocked with toys at the time, or did they just luck out and they just happened to be all there? But oh man, I remember that so vividly. And they even had them like posted in the tree.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so awesome.
it's uh, very nostalgia. A lot of my picks would be, of course, based off of nostalgia. Like, cause another one for me, it would be, and I think this was an example that I had given you when I texted you about this. Uh, is I remember that feeling of playing Super Mario 3 for the first time. Not the first one. I played the first one. Second one, I think the second one I was like, "Nah." But then there was so much hype over the third game. So much in fact that they made a movie based around it.
Oh my god, I remember that movie.
The Wizard with Fred Savage,
Yep.
Christian
Yeah.
Slater and Beau Bridges, yes. And I remember like when I actually got that game, and it was one of those feelings too. Like the game consoles back then, like they were still expensive, but of course they were more obtainable back then than they are now. But I was always that kid that never got the cool things first.
Okay.
Okay, so like it like I didn't get a PS4 until like a PS5 was in their second or third year. For example,
Gotcha.
a DVD player, I didn't get that until like maybe the third or fourth year that they were invented. So yeah, I mean, I was like always on the tail end of things. So when Super Mario 3 came out, I was able to get it first day.
So that, yeah, so I see where you're coming from then.
So yeah, it was that feeling of like, yes, I was one of the first. That's at least that's how I felt. I was one of the first.
For me, for my second thing, I would have to say is probably hearing punk, but then understanding it. Because I have an older sister, and my older sister is the one that got me into punk. And I was very, very young. Like we're talking like 9, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But so like I heard it, but like I just knew that it was loud, it was abrasive, and they said fuck, and I liked it. So, um, but it wasn't until I was about 15, 14, 15, when I was able to digest it, if that makes sense. I was able to like sit down, listen to the lyrics, and just be like, oh, I get it. I understand it now. And then that's what, turned me into the monster that I am right now.
And it all started to click.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that because that it's almost like one of those pivotal moments in your life that kind of recourses who you are as a person.
Right. I mean, like, I'm going to be 50, and like, it's not a freaking, it's not a phase, Mom. This is just a phase, son. Apparently not. Either that is one hell of a phase.
um so my third one. Okay, so this might be kind of a like a weird story for me to tell. Which there may be another iteration or a lengthier version of this story told at another time. But a memory in pop culture that I would love to experience again for the first time. Oh man. So it's 2007. Actually, I'll go back to 92. So in 1992, my family, my mom, dad, aunt, uncles, I mean, like we took a Bronco, like an OJ Bronco, filled like 7 people in it, and I was all the way in the back with the luggage. and drove from Pennsylvania to Orlando. And it was an amazing trip. And we went down, stayed with my uncle, my cousin, my aunt. Had a good time. We were going to go to Disney World. However, at that time, Hurricane Andrew was coming through. Never,
Oh,
never got to go. So flash
oh.
forward to 2007. Married, 3 kids now, working at Columbia Gas. And it's like, you know what? We need a vacation. Let's take a trip. Family trip. Let's take the kids to Disney World. All of our first times on a plane, all of our first times here at the parks was the first time for all of us. So,
That's awesome.
oh, well, it gets more and more. The feeling gets more intense because our first day we went to Epcot. Now, Epcot is a a great park. Not one of my favorites, probably my third favorite. But of course, at this time, we were never really there. So, went to Epcot. We went on Finding Nemo, and I know it has an actual name, but again, I'm just like I said, we'll talk about it later about that. So went on Living Seas with Nemo, and here the ride breaks down, and right where the scene is the most annoying scene ever, too, where it broke down. Then go on Spaceship Earth, which is the big golf ball. It breaks down. So it's just like, oh god, okay. So we got 3 more days of this. So this day 2, it's raining. It is raining cats and dogs. And now we're on the Magical Express on the bus going to the Magic Kingdom. Man, it when to say that this moment felt magical would be an understatement and almost cliche for a Disney story. But the moment our bus went under the Magic Kingdom gates, like that, the rain stopped. And in that moment, like we got there, like everybody, even on the bus, everybody's mood had changed. It got positive, lighthearted. Everybody like was joking, acting like kids again. And then you go into the parks, had a great time, got to ride almost every ride in the park, almost. But of course, after that, because Disney had become a pretty much a yearly thing after that,
That's awesome.
everything in the parks had changed from that first visit because then it was like 2 hour waits, an hour and a half waits to get on one ride, and it
That's
just
the reason why I hate going to places like that because it's just like you're just, no.
yeah, yeah, it's wild. It's so wild, and like there's just never a small like a good time to go now because it's always busy. But that first time, like I just it gets me choked. I'm not getting choked up now, but it gets me choked up when I talk about it, when I even think about it, and if I'm having like that moment where I'm just like, if I could go back in time to do one thing over, that would be one of those moments that I wish I could relive one more time to experience for the first time.
I can see it gave me chills thinking about that. That's a cool story. This mine's not nearly as powerful as that, but going to the movies for the first time without your parents.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember the first movie you saw without your parents?
Spaceballs.
As one should. God, you got me thinking now. Like I have to go back and think about mine because like my first one.
Me and
What was
me
your
and Jimmy
first movie?
Stanley, my childhood friend Jimmy Stanley. Me and him went to see Spaceballs. My mom dropped us off, and his mom picked us up. And I'll never forget that. That was like that was the coolest thing ever. Because you're just like, yep, I'm awesome. I can go to the movies by myself.
I,
And is this that was just one of those things that like I remember walking up to the ticket counter, buying my ticket for the movie, and then going in, getting my drink and my popcorn, and then he and I sitting there watching Spaceballs and just thinking we are the two coolest people on the planet. Oh, well, we weren't, but I just thinking at that moment in time, we were the two coolest people on the damn earth.
you felt like Patrick and SpongeBob with mustaches. They're
Yes,
walking around. We're men.
exactly
We're
right.
manly men.
Yep.
No, that's a
That's
great one. That is a great one. And like honestly, and you really blew my mind because I can't remember the first movie I saw without my parents.
that's how much of an impact it made on me. I remember it.
Like
Spaceballs.
I still remember the very. Do you remember the first movie you saw in theaters at all? Obviously, with your
I
parents.
I do not.
See, I do. That's the one that I do remember that, and it's one like while I remember it, I don't remember. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And it's one that I feel had shaped my love for pop culture as it is now. But the first movie I saw was in 1979 because we both know that Star Wars was originally released in 77.
77.
Yeah, but they re-released it in 1979.
79.
And
Yep.
I went, my dad took me to go see it.
It was in the
And
summertime.
yep. And that movie just blew me away. And it was A New Hope. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like I remember it. I remember going to see it. But if you ask me, like, did I have popcorn? What did I have the drink? Like, did I get scared? I couldn't remember any of that. I just remember seeing the movie in theaters with my dad. Oh, well, everybody, as we're winding down, I tell you what, like, let
I have
us.
one more.
Yeah, oh,
This is
oh, I'm sorry. I
just a
apologize.
quick one. This is just a quick one. And it was going to my first concert.
You know, and I was going to say that. What was your first concert?
My first concert was a band called Discharge. And I was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My sister took me because that's how she babysat me. And again, that was like my first introduction to punk. But I didn't understand anything that was going on.
Sure.
They had green hair, they had mohawks, they had an English accent, and they said "fuck" a lot. And I was like, I'm hooked.
You're
And
like, and I knew I liked it.
it was them, and I was just like, holy cow, this is awesome. And it was in Jersey. My sister took me I was born out in Philly,
Right.
and we went to the show in Jersey. And because my dad was a cop, and my mom used to run a hotel, so they were always working all the time. And I'll never forget it. That was like holy cow,
See,
such a great show.
it's funny because like I've seen. I don't want to say I've seen a lot of shows. My first concert was AC/DC. It was their Ball Breaker tour, and it was at the height of Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead was on screen. They kind of like did like a little comedy bit at the beginning of the show to introduce AC/DC. It was pretty cool, but it wasn't anything that I was like really mesmerized by. I was like, oh yeah, it was for me, like seeing AC/DC was like just for me to say I went to a concert.
Okay, like FOD played, which is which is a Philly band.
FOD, I remember them, or at least I do.
FOD. Well, you're probably thinking of either
No,
SOD or MOD.
oh,
Um, FOD was a Philly band by the name. It stood for Flag of Democracy,
okay,
and they were. I mean, they're big-ish in like the Philly, Jersey, New York. They're still kind of like big around the country, but like MOD was the band that everyone, Method of Destruction is the one that everyone
Oh,
remembers,
okay.
and SOD, Stormtroopers of Death, is the one that everyone loves. But FOD, Flag of Democracy, played, and I remember I was just like, holy cow, this is like, and I don't remember the other two bands. There's four bands total, but Discharge was the main band, FOD, and then two other bands. And I remember I just stood in the back because I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm going to get killed. Um, and it was just, it was like a light came down from the heavens and I heard angels sing. And then I was just like, well, I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's great. It's funny you mentioned Stormtroopers of Death. They were the first band that made a song based on a horror movie character.
Not really.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember that for whatever reason. Um,
I have all the SOD stuff. I just haven't listened to it. I remember like they put out an EP a couple like probably oh god years ago. Last EP they put out it was making fun of Slayer Seasons in the Abyss. It was called Seasoning the Obese.
oh dear God. I think probably one of my most memorable concerts though. Like, of course, yeah, going back to like I would like to say the Warp Tours were always fun to go to. They were fun to go to, but there was just so much going on that it's hard to pinpoint what your favorite part of it was.
Oh
There was
yeah.
just so much. It was so it was such a controlled chaos that you really couldn't pay attention to just one thing. That you had to kind of take
Too
it all in.
too many the skateboarding and the BMX
Yeah.
stuff going on, and they would have like two or three stages going on at one
Yep.
time, like back to back shows. So like you would have um like a main stage and then two small stages. Yeah, I trust me, I know. It's like, and then you're like trying to scramble. Oh crap, I want to see this band, but they're playing at this time at the same time that this band's playing. So it's like I can't split myself in half, you know.
Right.
So
I'm gonna have to narrow it down to two though. I think two of the most memorable performers I saw. First, Marilyn Manson.
okay.
At the height of his, I mean, honestly, people can like hate me all they want, but Manson peaked at his Antichrist Superstar album.
Oh, no doubt.
Everything else after that was just mediocre. Um, he's had some quote unquote bangers that did come out after, but the Antichrist album was just his his masterpiece. So when I got to see him, Rasputina opened for him, and it was at the Civic Arena before they tore it down. And man, or no, wait, Civic Arena, yeah, that was it. Um, but that was a really good show, really good performance.
I
But
think it's funny that he used to play the Civic Arena. Now he just played Pittsburgh not too long ago,
at the, like
and
the
he had to
Draft
go.
House or something.
Yeah, and he had to go and play at like a club.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. But another one,
he played the same club that Sunny Day Real Estate played.
yeah.
You
The,
know,
the other one is Insane Clown Posse. Like the first time seeing them, that would be another one that I could probably put up there with. Like the first time seeing them, just kind of blew my mind, and that's an experience I wouldn't mind having again for the first time. Well, everybody, I hope that you had enjoyed episode 21. Hope you all had your whiskeys and uh, Pabst Blue Ribbons. I'm joking. That's PBRs. God, that's gross. Yeah, did you see that Matthew Lillard and Ice Nine Kills frontman Spencer Charnas has a whiskey out? They
no,
have a collab. Yeah, it's called Horrorwood Reserve.
that's funny.
A bottle of it is $85.
But you know what? Okay, That's actually not that bad.
And I was wondering if it was. Like, I was
That's
wondering, like,
actually
if.
not that bad. Because, like, you can start getting into what's referred to as allocated bottles. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm straight edge, but like, but I do know a lot about whiskey. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. But
How
like
dry
there's
I
like allocated
am.
like you could get into like bottles that cost like $200-300 just as an entrance fee. Like a like stuff like oh what the hell is it called? Like a Weller's Reserve
Okay.
that that can be like $300. Eagle Rare, um you can buy a bottle of Eagle Rare off the shelf, like Eagle Rare 10 year, and it'll be like probably like $75-80 for the bottle. All right, but you could sell it on the gray market for about $150-200 a bottle. And if you can buy a bottle of Blanton's, depending on the bottle of Blanton's that you can get anywhere between you can buy a bottle you can buy the bottle for about $80 to $100, but you can get $300 to $400 for it. And then there's stuff that's like literally in the tens of thousands of dollars when it comes to whiskeys. Like whiskey's some crazy shit, man. There's some rabbit holes you want to go down. You like there's some really cool YouTube rabbit holes. There's actually like you can become like a whiskey sommelier. There's all kind of stuff about it. Like it's nuts, man. Whiskey shit's crazy. I actually I do kind of collect whiskey for investment reasons because whiskey is actually a very good investment if you get the right stuff.
Hmm. Interesting.
I know that's kind of weird, but yes, you could make a lot of money. Hell, I traded a bottle of Blanton's for even up for a Glock one time.
That's a good trade. That is definitely a good
Yes.
trade. Well, everybody, on that note, we're going to call it quits until next week. You can follow us at Lights Camera Pop on Facebook, Lights Camera Pop Pod on Instagram. Get ready for the new one, Carnival Lights Media, which we're really, I mean, I might just like post a couple things here and there, but I don't think that'll be like a main kind of like account. But I will post there frequently here and there. And be sure to follow Nomad underscore comics underscore collectibles.
You can also find me as Punk Rock Mike on Instagram as well.
Oh, Punk Rock Mike. Yeah, I was gonna say, like I wasn't sure. I never really gave that one out, and Brian mentioned it last week, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, like Punk Rock Mike's is yeah, you can always find me on there as well. Like the Punk Rock Mike one is more of like behind the scenes of my life, like all the stupid shit that I do. Um, so I post some record stuff on there, but the comic one that's my one that you always find me for what I'm selling, where I'll be for the comic book shows. That's the main reason why I push that one. But Punk Rock Mike is just like that's where if you want to get to know me a little better, that's how you can get to know me a little better.
And I'm at Richie Wayne Graves, which yeah, I change my name frequently on there, which is weird. I don't know why I do that. It's the bipolar in me.
Yeah, there you go.
It matches my playlist on Spotify. But on that note, have a good week, everybody. Thank you for getting your geek on with us, and we will see you real soon.
See you next week.